Good morning. It is 11:04 a.m. on Saturday, February 12th, 2022. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I slept in. This is 5 more minutes. I've been awake just a little bit, but I couldn't tear myself away from the podcast I was listening to. This is an episode from the Friends at the Table Patreon feed where it's the audio from the Twitch stream they did of a game called Hounds. And in particular, so the story they're telling with it is great and I love it. But in particular, the mechanic for this particular game is interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of a game that's quite like it before. I'm sure there are others that use a similar mechanic, but it's pretty neat. So basically, everyone's just kind of telling a story together. And the idea is that when you identify an obstacle in the story, each person proposes a way to resolve the obstacle, right? So let's say, the security guard has cornered you. And that's the obstacle. And then so one person might say, I put my hands up, I let him take me into custody without resisting. Another person might say, rush him and kill him. And then another person might say, I try to persuade him that he should help me out because he's working for the bad guy. Right? And so those are just three directions the story could go. Then each person rolls a die, and you're looking for ideally a low number, but so based on just those die rolls, the die roll tells you, so the primary goal that you're doing is you're trying to stack d6s. And so the die roll for each of those proposed solutions is the number of dice you're going to have to add to your tower. And so it could be that like whoever's turn it is to actually choose one will know, okay, well, I was leaning forward towards this option, but that one I'll have to put 3 dice on, whereas this one I'll only have to put 1 die on. And I'm worried, about it because once you decide, you choose a path and you try to add the dice, if the tower stays up, you're successful. And if the tower falls, you're unsuccessful, right, in whatever it was that you do. And I think that's kind of a neat way. And so, but to add to the tension naturally occurring within the game mechanics, the guys playing this, the players playing this game are using a virtual tabletop to do the dice stacking, but they've discovered as they go that they don't all see the exact same tower. Like it's being rendered for each of them, but not identically. And so they're having an issue with one person saying, like the camera is too close, so they're having trouble seeing where they need to move the little die. But then they say, okay, I think that looks right. And then everyone else is going, what? No, it's way off. It's way off. You got to move it more this way, more this way. And then they just like, no, that can't be right. And they figure out that they're literally seeing different renderings of the tower. And so I just got myself caught up in the tension of that. It's like, I have to see what happens. Does the tower stay up? It reminds me a little bit of role-playing games like Dread or Star-Crossed that use a Jenga tower. And it's interesting because the different mechanics of this sort of thing, because just like this dice stacking one or the Jenga one, eventually it'll fall, right? And the tension is just when. What happens as the different decisions iterate, but eventually one of the decisions won't go well and something bad will happen. And and it's just a matter of when, which is different and interesting and different compared to something like Dungeons and Dragons, where every single action has its own chance of success or failure, but that each of those things tends to be you tend to have less weight on individual roles in Dungeons and Dragons because there's lots of roles happening and they all kind of add up or average out. But in this one is designed to have each one feel momentous and weighty until it all comes crashing down. It's kind of neat. It's a neat idea. Anyway, I think we're supposed to have our game of Root tonight. Hopefully, we won't be still dealing with the technical issues that we did last week. I've got some other stuff going on that I'm not going to get into right now, but I hope you all have a good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.